Hello everyone and welcome on in. As you all know, we do the top 5 PvP battles here, and you guys send me tons of really awesome clips all the time. And every now and then you guys send me a clip that is so long and such a good fight that there's no way I could fit it into a top 5 episode, because the entire clip pretty much warrants an episode itself. And well, today we get to see an incredible fight brought to us by Meaxy. And if you guys have seen Meaxy play a little bit in these past couple months on the top 5, he's been absolutely tearing it up on this Stamsorc. So a huge shout out to Meaxy for sending in this incredible fight. Be sure to check out Meaxy on YouTube, and he started streaming, so check out his Twitch. Links are down in the description below for you guys. And without further ado, let's get into this fight. So, Meaxy has found himself, I think after a long siege here, the last defender inside this keep after it's flipped blue, and there's a ton of blue players coming to try to kick him out of this keep. Right off the bat, we see Meaxy had gotten a kill as we were doing our intro there, and there's a big Dawnbreaker there, but Meaxy unable to stick anything out because there's a ton of blue players chasing him, and he cannot hold still for a moment for them, and Meaxy's going to go for a little bit of distance here, heading to the other corner of the keep as the blue players interrupt his Dark Deal there with the Force Pulse too, but Meaxy just manages to get away with the streak, and a couple Dark Deals, gets a little bit of resource back, and he's back up top in the tower here. And good movement here just to kind of split the group up. They were really piled up on him, so if he just moves really quickly like that, you see he takes the first player down because he's able to break up the group just based on speed. And a big Dawnbreaker there. Meaxy follows it up with some Executioners, bringing another blue player down back behind the wall, gets the Dark Deal down for a little bit of stamina back, and there's a blue that's a little lower on health. Meaxy wanted to try to stick that out, but he just ports out of there with his streak. And I believe Meaxy's actually running Ball of Lightning here, which is going to come in really handy when he gets a lot of range pressure on him. And he just drops down to the bottom here. Meaxy's being pretty patient here. The blue players are definitely looking pretty hard for him. Right after the keep flip too, he's pretty much the only target inside the keep, but he's picking them off one at a time. The blue players are just not paying enough attention, and Meaxy's managing to get some huge dizzy swing combos on those guys. And he just goes to streak through the group here, streaks back into the keep. That Ball of Lightning doing so much work, absorbing the projectiles for him. And 3 players follow him up. Meaxy's not going to be able to stick out a good kill there. Too much body block, and the pressure coming in from the Dragon Knight as well with that Fossilize. And now Meaxy's is going to go again for another bit of a position shift. He's going to head back towards the front of the keep. There's a lot more blue players here too, but it looks like only a couple of the blue players followed him really hard from that other corner. And Meaxy's just resets the buff. There's the big partial charged heavy. He drops the Dawnbreaker down, catches one player pretty good with the combo there. Very low health, but again, Meaxy's hit with a nasty counter stun, and I love that streak, just making sure he's at the edge of the terrain there on the tower, so he can port to the other side. And then he comes up behind the blue players here, trying to get a bit of damage, but right away, the blue players retaliate with a lot of pressure. And here comes the siege as well. Meaxy's just quickly backsteps to the other side of the tower there, and he comes up to the top, catching a Dragon Knight by himself. A really good off-balance stun, but this Dragon Knight's got a lot of hit points, and Meaxy's tries again to make that streak. You've got to be really close with the footing there, or you're not able to make that teleport. And he drops the Dawnbreaker on the guy on oil. The oil player just sits there and continues to oil away. And Meaxy says, nope, just quickly kills him off the oil, gets some great Dark Deals behind the corner there, and then he catches a huge off-balance on that enemy. Magplar, it looks like, falling off the edge with the roll dodge cancel there. It's unfortunate. He's not able to stick out the kill, but he is able to get a little bit of resource back and get a good position. Huge Dawnbreaker stun on that player from behind. And now Meaxy's trying to follow it up with the D-swing, and just look at the amount of stun pressure coming in. A lot of attacks dodged there. He gets the Dark Deal again. Meaxy's doing such a good job in this fight, just maintaining his resource at acceptable levels the whole time. He's not letting himself get caught with no gas in the tank. And he just keeps looking for a good target here. The blue player's putting a lot of pressure on him, though. I don't think Meaxy's is going to be able to pop anybody off siege with so many people on his tail. So he turns around here, starts working on this first archer, a huge off-balance stun, and he manages to connect the next Executioner, just rolling outside of the siege range there. and then he ports over to the other side here. He's got the Dawnbreaker ready too, drops the Dawnbreaker on top of the Warden. Unfortunately, I don't think Meaxy saw just how many hit points that guy has, but he shifts to the next target here. A huge connection with that crit, and then the off-balance Dizzy Swing into the execute. Another blue player going down, and Meaxy's is just terrorizing this entire keep line here. And Meaxy's just not wanting to give up this position, though. There are a lot of blue players there. He just goes for the combo. Oh my gosh, that was really risky. He takes the damage, though, almost sticking out the kill. There's the Dawnbreaker. The enemy Sorc managing to shield up and not get killed by that combo, but Meaxy's takes another player down. And look at this, one player so close to dying. Meaxy's hits him with the execute. Another one goes down. And where's that original Sorc that Meaxy had dropped the combo on? There he is, trying to go for the res. Finishing that player off too. Really great movement with the Ball of Lightning. And Meaxy's able to get a lot of resource back with his Dark Deal. And he actually just jumps off the edge. He sees a target here that is not paying a lot of attention. He gets a D-swing down. This enemy player doesn't have his pet up to heal. He goes down to the Executioner, and Meaxy's just doesn't want to get caught, I think, too bad out in the open. He does have the Ball of Lightning, though, a huge Dawnbreaker into the Execute. The very squishy player there just going down. And Meaxy's just goes for the kite back into the tower. The relative kind of safety of the walls, I love it. The Dark Deal, the partial charged heavy attack. Meaxy's just trying his best to get a little bit of resource back. And he's just kind of picking a target here. He's not really going for damage on anyone until he sees someone that he can hit with a nice combo. There's a huge crit on that Dizzy Swing. The off-balance partial charged heavy right away, and he's got the 3 players on his tail. Meaxy's goes for the streak off the edge, cutting the angle there. And he goes for the D-swing, cuts his own D-swing with the cancel on the roll just to avoid those attacks. And here we go. Can't be having people sieging him like that. Meaxy's quickly throwing down the D-swing into the Dawnbreaker, not playing around with that guy. And beautiful movement on the streak there, right back through the group. And he finds another player on siege. He's just going to do his best to try to take this guy down before blue shows up. There's some nice Dizzy Swing into the execute. And he manages to get that player down. The blue player that followed him up here does not seem to have a lot of offensive firepower, and Meaxy just catches him with a huge stun there and finishes him off. Great block on that incoming stun from the Nightblade. Unfortunately getting hit by the surprise attack as he drops off the edge, but Meaxy's managing to not only get some resource back, but he gets in a great position behind that Sorc. Big damage into him. Unfortunately, a misplaced streak there. Meaxy's almost going down to the fall damage and just gets back inside into cover right away, gets those Dark Deals down, and Meaxy's just doing the kite game with the Stamsorc. Honestly, man, Stamsorc inside a keep is so fast, and Meaxy's is showing us exactly the strength of speed in PvP. And here we go. Dawnbreaker on that player on siege. Meaxy's is determined to bring this siege line down, and they're dumping negates and everything. This guy's back up and working the siege again. Can't be having any of that. This player here is actually specifically sieging the spot that Meaxy's is fighting. So this is a really good target for Meaxy's to just switch to and try to put him down, or at least be fighting where he can't be launching the siege on top of him. And he's forced to just Ball of Lightning out of there, get a bunch of Dark Deals down as he goes back into the stairway here on the keep. That's a good Dawnbreaker, but again, he hits the Warden with it, and that Warden has a lot of hit points, so he's unable to get the damage he wants to start that combo off, and he streaks back inside the keep here. Again, just trying to avoid that siege damage as best as possible. And Meaxy's just looking for a target to hit. He's getting worn down here. There's a lot of players attacking him, and if he just shows himself in a position for too long, his hit point bar really starts to get worked, and Meaxy's really feeling it on the resource sustain here. The potion's coming up soon. A big amount of damage there, though. Meaxy's health dropping super low, and he's forced to just streak through the entire group here. The enemy players just spamming their gap closers on him. Meaxy's does a great roll back through the group, managing to get so much resource back from that Dark Deal. The potion went off too. Tries to get the Dawnbreaker counter stun. Unfortunately, Meaxy's himself is counter stunned before he can throw the Dawnbreaker down. And yeah, he's managing to hold on. The amount of healing power he's pushing out on this thing is absolutely incredible. Huge 10k Dawnbreaker crit there into the light attack executioner to finish that player off from almost full health. And Meaxy's just getting a good kite job around here, gets the interrupt as well. He's going to try to stick a combo on that guy. A good executioner combo off the roll. Unfortunately, these blue players, man, they're putting out way too much pressure for Meaxy's to try to stay in that position, but he's got a little bit of safety behind this wall here, just a couple players on him. Meaxy's, I think, wants to try to combo them. He's got the Dawnbreaker ready. There's the heavy attack into the Dawny. Two players get hit by it. He tries to connect the Dizzy Swing, managing to get a bit of damage into the Nightblade, but the amount of counter pressure that Meaxy's takes there is way too much damage. He's forced to go for those Dark Deals, resets a few of his buffs here, and Meaxy's unfortunately just scrambling here. There's so many blue players, and he's just porting through them. He clips the guy with the Executioner as he comes through there, just picking up a nice kill on that guy. And now he's at the top of the tower here, and the two blue players with the great swords, man, they're just spamming crit rush on Meaxy's. He's trying his best to kite these guys. And a little bit of lag there. You see everyone just kind of freeze a little bit, and Meaxy's just goes for a huge Dawnbreaker around the corner into the execute. One player goes down, and continually the pressure is coming from these guys, and Meaxy's just trailing them around the keep. He goes back through them with the roll, streaking to the doorway here. The movement is so good because Meaxy's is constantly changing directions. I love how he runs back through the doorway as they run through it too. And that's just another great strategy to force a very lengthy turnaround from your opponent. Meaxy's caught with a really nasty amount of damage there, and he manages to again cut back through the group and streak through them to safety. And then right up to the siege line here. Big Dawnbreaker on that guy. One player goes down. The other guy's got a lot of hit points. He's just going to get off the siege. And Meaxy's is not going to try to stick out any kind of combo there. He tries, I think, to get the bash. Unfortunately, he doesn't get it because there's too many players in his way there. And Meaxy's manages just to squeak into the other side of the tower here. And again, he's just playing that really hard kite game. But I'm so impressed with the amount of healing power he has. He can come back from some really dangerous situations as long as he's quick on his feet. And Meaxy's just doing his best to try to get into a relatively good position to drop that Dawny. Great heavy attack around the corner into the light attack executioner. One blue player kind of isolating himself with the roll there. Meaxy's trying to stick the combo out, blowing a ton of stamina on the dodge roll cancels, and he just misses the attacks. Unfortunately, he doesn't get that player, so he just resets with the Dark Deal, and this guy just dodging the Dizzy Swing at the end there. And Meaxy's goes back around the corner, dodging a ton of attacks as well. A nasty stun from that Nightblade, and I love it. He rolls one direction, streaks back through the direction that he just rolls, and it just buys him a little bit more time where the opponents can't easily target him. Meaxy's movement is a huge part of why he's able to stay alive in this fight. He's caught again with a huge amount of damage, streaking through them. That Surge doing wonders for him here with the Hurricane AoE, and Meaxy's just kiting around them, getting the health back. And he's got the Dawnbreaker up. A huge Dawnbreaker comes down. He follows it with the Dizzy Swings. Super unlucky. That player's almost dead. Meaxy's didn't get a single crit on him there. And he's again in a super dangerous position. The Vatron Destro Staff and everything coming down on him. Meaxy's gets a good kite on it all. And he tries to go again for some Dizzy Swing combos. The enemy player dodges it. And Meaxy's this time is going to head back into the other tower here, catching this guy alone on siege, quickly going to hit him off of that catapult. A huge Dawnbreaker stun on the two players that follow him up. Meaxy's gets another kill, and that was, I believe, on one of the players that was chasing him super hard here, and he just isn't able to stick that last kill out. The blue player escapes out the other side. Meaxy's in a lot of trouble here. He's taking a huge amount of pressure. Massive crit heals coming out of that Dark Deal, though. And this guy's going to go for the res. Meaxy's just hits him with the bash and then goes for that aggression on the D swing, getting caught with a lot of damage. And now this is the most dangerous position I think I've seen Meaxy's in yet. He's got very low stamina. The potion's coming up real soon. Huge amounts coming back from that Dark Deal, though. And he just hits him with another Dawnbreaker, going for the execute combo. Another player goes down. They're dumping the counter ults. And a beautiful roll cancel combo into the executioner there, and the streak to get away. And he kills another blue player, doubles back up, gets that bash, but right away the blue player is punishing him, and Meaxy's playing a dangerous game. He's getting a ton of stam back with that Dark Deal, and the blue players just keeping the pressure up here. Meaxy has got 5 or 6 players really heavily on his tail here, and that's not including the ones that are just waiting around for him, and he gets a good off balance on that guy there. Again, he's not able to spend any time trying to stick out an offensive combo. The blue players just putting so much pressure into him. Meaxy's just pounding the dark deal as he comes around the corner here. Gets interrupted, unfortunately, with that. He's going to streak back through the group, and he gets his buffs up again, trying to go, I think, for that Dawnbreaker, but he gets caught with a lot of damage again. Meaxy's just unable to put anything more than half a second of offensive pressure in before these guys just do way too much damage to him, and he's going to get back behind the siege line. And of course, Meaxy is just going to stick out another kill, dropping himself to incredibly dangerous amounts of hit points to get it, but so aggressive in this fight. A huge thank you and a massive shout out again to Meaxy for sending in this fight. It was absolutely incredible. Be sure to check out this guy's YouTube and his Twitch channels. We've got links down below in the description for you guys. And of course, if you want to send in your own clips for the top 5, or if you want to send in a build to be featured on the channel, you can send that to KristoferESO@hotmail.com. Check out my website, KristoferESO.com, for written guides to all my stuff. You can give me a follow on Twitch if you guys want to catch live gameplay from me, and give me a follow on Twitter to keep up to date with what's going on with me. We are sponsored by What the Fast. They're a VPN for gamers. They can give you a better ping to your favorite games, free to try for the first month. Link down below for you guys. And as always, a massive thank you to all of my patrons on Patreon. Without you guys, I wouldn't be able to do this job, so thank you so much for supporting the channel. Thank you everybody for tuning in and watching. Big shout out again to Meaxy for sending in that awesome clip, and I'll see you guys next time. Have a great night, everyone.